BC, what's up, guys? Back on here again with another classic Blue Note, one of my favorites. Uh, Dexter's Calling, 4083. His second release on Blue Note. Dexter is the man. Um, remember finding this copy back in 2016. I was digging in Chicago, and I went into the store, and they had it on the wall. And I was always familiar with Dexter because I already had Our Man in Paris. So I was just like, man, I saw that on the wall, and when I looked at it, I was like, man, I said, is that an original? And once I saw the mono thing on there, I was just like, man, I knew it was mono. Beautiful. It was in beautiful condition. No splits. Whoever had this took care of it. But yeah, I'm on here talking about Dexter's Calling with a killer lineup. Of course, Dexter, Kenny Drew, Paul Chambers, which is the man from Blue Note. That is the bass player, Blue Note's bass player. And then rounds off with the killer chops of Billy Joe Jones. Dexter emerged from the West Coast scene, standing over 6 feet tall. Uh, he's part of that whole scene that was like Freddie Red and all of those guys. He even started off playing. He started playing with Billy Eckstine, Lionel Hampton. Dexter started off with the right people. He played with Louis Armstrong too for some months. But yeah, he emerged in that scene. He was influenced by Lester Young, the Prez, aka the Prez. But yes, this was his second release. This was recorded a couple of days after his first album, and that is this one here, Doing All Right. But this wasn't released until January of the following year of 1962. So this one right here proves that he came into his own, his sound, his tone, his playing abilities. He actually has 3 songs on here that was he written back in '59 with Freddie, for a Freddie Red play called The Connection. It was a track called Soul Sister, I Want More, and Ernie's Tune. And the first track starts off. It tricks you because it starts off with a ballad, and you could tell that he's loosening up when he's playing the Soul Sister opening ballad. Beautiful tune, man. And then it goes into a Kenny Drew written staple, Moto Mood. A lot of 3-chord voicings, but is rooted in the hard bop. And I know he's influenced by Prez, but even the Bird was influenced by Prez, Lester Young, and I can hear that. I can hear a little of that Parker in there. But yes, I mean Parker. I could tell Parker and them. They all came from the same source. Lester Young was a hell of a player. But yes, Motor Mood, and then I Want More is the third track. It's just straight bop, man. His stuff is you could tell his tone and his dexterity is just off the charts, man. His melody is what makes Dexter so good. If you listen to any of his albums, which I don't have all his Blue Note albums, I have most of them that are featured here. If you listen to all his albums, you could tell that this guy knows what the hell he's doing. And that says a lot from a guy that was in the 50s. He was, in the panhandling and all of this stuff. He'd been arrested many of times. And Afro Lion came over there to the West Coast and recruited him. And he signed a deal with Blue Note. And he recorded all of those albums, which ended up later on in the Blue Note career, he ended up moving overseas to Paris. But yes, and then the End of a Love Affair was written and it's more of a Edward Redding, great song. It actually was covered by Nat King Cole, and that's what made Dexter go after that tune. It's an excellent tune, and he took it into his own and made it a Dexter's tune. And then him and Kenny Drew got together and they did Clear the Decks, which was written by Kenny Drew, smoking, straight playing, soloing. Um, I mean, they they sound like as one. And you know, I always say, you know, I love, you know, a lot of the drummers. My favorite drummer is Art Blakey. And then you got Tony Williams, who's a hell of a drummer, and then Elvin Jones, you know, just to name those three. But Billy Joe, man, I mean, I just get blown away when I hear his stuff because he played on tons of records, man. And his stuff, even Nuke's Time, I love his playing on there. Billy Joe is so underrated. He gets into him and Chambers. You could tell that they think as one because everything is tight, and it's like they could just think of anything, and they could just go in any chord progression. And then Ernie's tune, that's another one. Ernie's tune is the ending of the songs he got from the play The Connection. Oh, beautiful ballad, beautiful ballad. And then the closer. This one really throws you when you find out who wrote this song. Smile. Yeah, Smile is written by Charlie Chaplin, the actor that used to be in those movies. And I never knew that he wrote songs, but he was influenced by Puccini. And that's what this song was based off of, Puccini's. And Dexter, you could tell Dexter, man, before he gets a track, he studies it. And then he really goes in on just, you know, just digging into the tone. His tone is so unique. And, you know, that's what I say about, you know, this is like these albums that we're doing from the Blue Note, you know, the 4,000 series. This is the golden age of jazz. I mean, period. There's so much good stuff out there. You know, you got the R-Bop, Post-Bop, free jazz. And I mean, all that. And it's just amazing, you know, just going through. And I really appreciate those guys, Sherv, Robs, and Dave, Local Bandography. I really appreciate the guys doing this videos because, man, I'm learning a lot of stuff, man, a lot. And guys, thanks for tuning in on this stuff, man. This is some great stuff, man. I mean, you definitely need to get out there and get the albums because it's a learning experience. Just even me going back listening to this, man, I was just blown away just to find an original copy. But still, just having the music itself is just mind-boggling, man. The way music has changed, you know, during this period of time. Almost wishing you was living at that time. All these albums were coming out. It was so much great stuff. But yes, Dexter, man. Dexter is definitely one of those saxophone players, man. You got to put him on a higher echelon, man. He's good, man. This guy is no joke, man. His stuff is worth checking out. But Dexter, this Dexter's Calling, definitely, if you see a copy of this, get it. I guarantee you will love it. Because you got the ballads, you got your hard bop, and you got the interactions. And a lot of these guys that's playing on these sessions, man, they played on so many great albums. Paul Chambers, just to name one, he played on Kind of Blue. Kenny Drew, which he ended up moving overseas, he played on Blue Train. I mean, man. And Dexter 60, this to me, his period with the Blue Note, man, you know, Doing All Right, Swinging Affair, Go, with Sonny Clark. Our Man in Paris, One Flight Up. I mean, man, he's Dexter, and that's just the name. He had one called Landslide. That's another one. I mean, he has so much great stuff. But yes, Dexter's Calling, 4083, man. This is a masterpiece. Pretty much all of his albums are must-haves. All of the Dexter stuff, especially with the Blue Notes, man, his stuff is must-haves. But yes, Dexter's Calling, Dexter Gordon. Guys, this was fun, man. Yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to some more. There's more and more of this stuff, man. A lot of these Blue Notes. Thanks a lot, guys. Peace out, guys.